We were kind of debating on the difference.
Red tags are when the field sobriety officer that's out there evaluates the person and believes they could be impaired. So the red tag is the request for them to pull in and be evaluated for driving under the influence. A white tag is when they evaluate the driver that either doesn't have their license with them today, they say I don't have a license, or they say their license is suspended. So the white tags go over here to be evaluated whether or not they need to receive a citation or a tow because their license isn't valid, and the red tags are being evaluated for DUI.
Alright, so in this situation, what if, I'll even use me as an example. What if I came through here and you guys were asking for my ID, but I don't want to hand it over?
Then you're subject to detention or arrest. So it's refusal to follow a lawful order. DUI checkpoints have been deemed legal, so it's a DUI and license checkpoint. So it's legal. Let me get through it. It's about 30 seconds. So it's legal for us to pick a roadway. It's put out in a press release, and we know we're going to be here. And if you're on the road in a car, California law says you have to have a license, and you have to provide that when an officer asks for it. So your refusal is a violation of 148 of the Penal Code, refusal to follow a lawful order, and you're subject to seizure. So if the tactics dictated it, we'd put stop sticks in front of your car, we'd block you in with a police car, we'd bust out your window, extract you by force, arrest you, and take you to jail, tow your vehicle.
I understand. And so what if the situation where...
And it's not for a ticket, it's for someone refusing to follow lawful orders. So it could be as simple as, here's my ID and you're on your way, or I don't have it with me, in which case you pull in here and we do a record check.
I just want to know under what law, statute, allows you guys to receive our ID when we're operating a vehicle, even if we haven't committed a traffic violation or have committed a crime.
Okay, well, I have a fact sheet because I don't want to misspeak, and I'll get you that fact sheet that explains the case laws and the vehicle code laws as written.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay.
3 of them, please.
So,
Okay, so wait. Because you don't want to identify yourself, they're gonna put strips. They're gonna break your windows and pull you out the vehicle.
just for an ID?
Not ID.
I don't know about if they can do all that.
That's what you just said.
I know.
I was like, what the hell was that?
I'm like, what?
We had the case law question
We did.
We did.
We did.
We're all
Yes.
collectively.
Yeah.
So I'll give you this piece of paper. It lists out all of the Supreme Court cases and all the California Supreme Court cases that cover all of that. The important ones to take note of are Ingersoll versus Palmer from 1987. And then the very last one, I don't know if you had, I heard you asking about red and white tags, that sort of thing. So when it comes to like either suspended drivers or unlicensed drivers, one of the changes that happened a number of years back was an adjustment to 22651 of the California Vehicle Code. All of that's explained here. We're in compliance with every single one of these until we run all of these operations. And so you're absolutely welcome to keep that entire document. It has all the information on it that summarizes in brief all of those cases. Every single one of those cases, you can very easily Google it. Look for ledgeinfo.ca.gov, gives you all the California cases. Same thing for the Supreme Court case. You can Google all that stuff and read all of those documents. They're completely, those are briefs, but you can read the entire cases on those, all the fact patterns for each and every single one of the checkpoints that essentially establish the legality of the operation of those, and then all of the laws that we have to follow that coincide with that. On top of all that, obviously we write a police report that summarizes the circumstances of the event, and then all of that is audited by the state of California Office of Transportation Safety, which pays for us to be out here. We're not on regular time through the city of Sacramento. We are paid for by the Office of Transportation Safety to be here, and they get their funding through the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, NHTSA, who does all that. Sacramento is top 5 in the state of California per capita for DUI-related collisions, so our city has DUIs that are off the hook, and we are per capita. We are one of
That's my concern is I can
worst
do all
cities
this.
in the entire country
Fine, I
for
just find
deaths
duplicate it.
as a result of DUI drivers.
If I may ask, can I have your other sergeant come up because I want to reference something that he said, and I don't want to missay something. Can I ask you a question? Come over here.
Do you have another one?
We just had a question. So You know how I said if the person doesn't want to give up their ID, and you said you can do the window breaking and the steps that you guys would take. Now here's what I want to break down. What if he's cooperating, rolls his windows down, he's working with you guys, but what if he doesn't want to hand his ID over? He just to stand by his Fourth Amendment right to protect his ID. Does that stand by?
Are you saying he's willing to identify himself verbally and
But
just?
but he rolls down his window. He's talking to you guys.
But is he refusing to give his name, John Smith, date of birth 1/1 of?
Yeah, he just doesn't want to give up his ID just because he hasn't committed a crime. Now, in that situation, what would be the point of that? When he's cooperating but doesn't want to give up his ID.
I'm confused by the scenario that someone's willing to give their identifying information but not provide a piece of plastic that confirms that they're not lying about that information.
I wouldn't just get like, say if it was me and I'm driving. I would talk to you. You guys roll to my windows. Hey, have you been drinking? I don't answer any questions. Do you have your ID? I don't want to give that over. I haven't committed a crime.
But then I ask you your name, and you're going to tell me your name?
At that point, I'll say you can run my plate. I want to go to secondary. You can run my plate. That's
But
all.
your plate doesn't have anything to do with who the person is that's driving.
It does give you the registered owner, and then from
That
there
means
you can
nothing to us because we're dealing with a human being. So it could be Enterprise rental car, it could be a different person that lent you your car. So the registered owner tells me nothing about the person that's in front of me that's committed a violation. And that's the person I'm wanting to contact. Anyway.
But again, in this one, we're just talking about DUI checkpoint.
I know,
And
but you're
there's
required
no-
by law to furnish your license when asked.
Well, and then we'll refer to
And
that.
you'll see that all of
We'll
that is
refer
covered
back
in
to
there.
that.
And on top of it, our intention, I mean, you guys have been filming all this. Like, you see how fast these interactions are, right? It's not like a normal car stop where we're doing crazy checks on the registration paperwork, the licenses, all that. We want to see if people are licensed, and we want to, and more importantly, whether people are sober driving, right? So we want to do that as fast as we possibly can, so that people can carry on for the rest of their night, or we pull the drunk drivers off the roadway, suspended or unlicensed drivers. We deal with them as well, right? We don't want to take up any more time, but going through license checks and records checks and doing all that stuff takes up time. If you're licensed and you're not intoxicated, I don't want to interact with you any further than that. I want you to carry on with your night, and then we can continue to move on with the operation, right? So, just from a practical sense, just hand over your license as required by law, as you'll read in that document, and then you go on your way as long as you're not drunk and you have a good license.
All right. And then last question. What's the rate of what you guys have caught tonight? You know, like, have you guys had any actually DUI arrests in here tonight?
I don't have the statistics on hand. I don't know that we have a DUI driver yet.
I just wanted to get the operation of how the status has been going so far.
Good. I mean, our whole point is we don't. I mean, this isn't. We're trying to prevent people from drunk driving, right? We're trying to create as much visibility as we possibly can within the city to prevent people from drunk driving. So if we don't have any drunk drivers come through here, there's a level of success that comes with that. I would think that we're trying to push out the message as much as we can for when we're on the wrong side of a list, right, where the city of Sacramento is well known for having drunk drivers on the road. That's not a list I want to be a part of. I want to help solve that problem. This is a process that the federal government provides money. The state of California provides money to us to do these events so that we can reduce that.
So are you guys volunteering to be here off the, like you said, Sacramento, you're not on Sac PD time.
Well, we're on Sac PD time, but our money, we are funded. That time is funded by the state of California, who gets their money from the federal government.
So yeah, what I just want to say is, are you guys assigned to do this, or are you guys volunteering?
We don't. Nobody gets told to come out here and work. Every officer or volunteer that you see out here, they raise their hand and say, "Yes, I'd like to participate and help get drunk drivers off the road." Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Do you have another one of those forms?
I'll see if I have another one, and if I do, I'll bring it over.
Thank you.